You know what I find interesting is people have such a big need to change other people. And a lot of us put a lot of energy into trying to change other people, to coerce other people to see things our way. We argue with other people to see things our way. We will shame people and make them feel guilty and blame people and attack people to help them to see things our way and to change their mind. And we want to convince them that we're right and they're wrong, and our perception is correct and theirs isn't, and our values are better than theirs, whatever it might be. And yeah, and we need to change them. So we put a lot of energy on the social media, and we're sharing articles and photos and videos to get people to change their minds. We're going to get people to change their minds. Gosh darn. Well, the funny thing about that is, to me, is yeah, we can't even change our own minds. We're putting all this energy into trying to force other people to change their minds. You know how hard it is to change your mind? I think you do if you've tried. If you've actually tried to change a bad habit, or change the way you look at certain things, or get rid of your resentments, or forgive people, or become more tolerant, or let go of biases and prejudices from the past. Let go of... It's really hard to change. If you got a lot of anger management isn't exactly easy. It's really hard to change. That's why, a lot of people are 65 and aren't really any different than they were at 25. And that's why a lot of relationships fail, because two people come together and they're infatuated, they fall in love, they mirror each other, and then they live together for a few years, and then they see there are some differences, and they want to change each other. Maybe there were some red flags when they first got together, and they overlooked that. Oh, he'll change later. I'll get him to change. And so there's divorces. It doesn't work. It's people. The only way people change is if they are very, very motivated to do so. And then the arguments will work. But when they're not motivated to do so, and you get in their face and tell them to change, it's not going to work, because they're not motivated. They already have the perception that they're doing fine, and you're the problem. So it's a huge waste of time, energy, and money, and a lot of times to change people's minds. Change your own mind. That's the point of all of this, okay? If all that energy you put into trying to change the world and change everybody's mind and make them see things your way, really, you know what? You're not perfect. We're not perfect. You, me, we're not perfect. We have a lot of imperfections and flaws, a lot of blind sides, a lot of ways that we don't want to look at ourselves. We don't want to look at the dark side of ourselves. We don't want to look at the hypocritical ways we act sometimes. We don't want to look at the double standards that we have sometimes. We don't want to look at our unfairness sometimes, our biases, our prejudices. We don't want to see ourselves as not being like incredibly admirable and respectable and wonderful. We want to see everyone else as the problem, and we point a finger at them with our self-righteous indignation. But guess what? Many of us have a lot of problems, have a lot of issues. We're not aware of them. We're arrogant. We're full of ego, or we're full of fear, and that makes us distort stuff and makes us, get your own house in order. That's the key. You want to change the world? You want to change other people's minds? Change your mind. Get your house in order. Stop with the harsh judgments. Stop with the anger and the rage and the screaming and the yelling and the acting out. Stop with shaming and blaming and name-calling and ridiculing and gossiping and spreading rumors. Stop witch hunts and jumping on the bandwagon to eviscerate people on the internet whenever you can. Try to remember to treat people as you would like to be treated. How would I feel if somebody said that or did that to me? I wouldn't like it. Oh yeah, then maybe I shouldn't do it to them. The golden rule: treat others as you wish to be treated. Forgive and love others. Guess what? You're forgiving and loving yourself. Believe it or not, you may think you're great. You may think you're fabulous, but deep down inside, there's a part of you that thinks you're a piece of crap and undeserving of sustainable joy, happiness, and inner peace. I suspect just about everyone really isn't happy. Okay, we may have some moments. Oh, sure, you're going down a ski slope, you're happy. You're watching Star Wars, you're happy. You're listening to some music, you're happy. You're smelling a flower, you're happy. This is a great cup of coffee, I'm happy now. Yeah, but most of us, who you kidding? Even people with a ton of money still are not happy. You know why? Because of all the grievance and resentment and anger and fear and confusion and judgment, and we have such a raging ego. You know that movie Raging Bull? That's us, but most of it's all under the surface. Most of it's all under the surface. And there's deep rage and hatred and fear under the surface. It's unbelievable. We need to get to that spot in us and eliminate that rage and eliminate our resentments and our grievances and our attack thoughts and our judgments, get our own house in order, and then it's very possible that we will be incredible, truly incredible role models to others, and that and it may brush off on others, and that's how we may influence others and change the world. But if if you've got issues and you don't really treat people great, and but you go around telling people how wrong they are and how bad they treat people, you're part of the problem. I keep saying this: you're part of the problem. Let's find healthy ways to communicate. Let's find compassionate ways to communicate. It's not weakness, it's common sense. There's an expression in the Bible, the meek shall inherit the earth. Now, meek doesn't mean weak, and meek means nonviolent. Okay, let's put it that way. Meek means compassionate. Meek means forgiving. Because right now, the strong are never going to inherit the earth because everyone's full of hate and they want to just blow each other up. And as soon as they get the chance to do it without getting hurt back, they will and they would. We're children with weapons of mass destruction. It's really, really bad. And the only way we're going to get out of it is if you and me extend compassion to everybody as much as possible, particularly those who appear to be angry and aggressive and violent and confused.